So welcome, Gary.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for doing this with me today. I wanted to ask you about a time in your life that you experienced somebody being really present. What do you remember? Give me a sense of it.
Well, when you asked me to think about that, I thought of a few times, and the one that came to mind was my grandmother in the hospital when she was 82, and she was in Sydney, Nova Scotia. And Karen and I actually were passing through on our way to Newfoundland for me to teach summer school, and found that she had been taken to the hospital with a heart attack. And so that's why I drew about it.
So what was it that you experienced when you visited with her that had you feel her be really present?
What she said was, I never thought it would come to this. So I had the intensity of feeling what she was feeling, like somehow life goes on forever, and here she was, and she knew that she didn't have a lot of time left.
Got that.
Yeah. So I picked something quite emotional, actually, to think about.
Well, when somebody's really present, there's a lot of emotion, and that's it's a wonderful thing. And I feel really privileged being able to share that moment with you. So, but besides what she said to you, was there anything else? The way she was looking at you, or
Well, I had seen her for a while.
yeah.
She and my grandfather retired to Nova Scotia, and I was living in Ontario. So it was an opportunity to see her. And 3 days later, she died. So, you know, I sort of knew that. So there's something special at that kind of time.
I totally get that, and that you were able to see her, especially just before she passed on.
Yeah. So she was lying there with tubes in her nose and all that, and I knew that she didn't have a long time to live, and so that was there was lots of presence in the room.
It feels really powerful, that moment. So I'm going to take a minute and look at the artwork together with you that you actually did draw. And tell me what you've drawn.
Well, the problem is I'm not good at drawing old ladies, so.
You know what's amazing about art therapy is you don't have to be good at drawing, but it's the experience. So.
But I managed to get the gap in her teeth, which I have, and wrinkles.
Yes.
And a worried look.
And the tube.
And the tubes.
The tubes in her nose.
Yeah. And clearly your heart's not working too well.
Get that.
It's kind of obvious.
So when you look at this drawing and you think about how it's showing her presence to you, what do you notice?
Well, I think she was very happy that I was there. You know, I'm the oldest of 10 kids, so she had 10. She only had one son, so the 10 kids were 10 grandchildren. So I was the oldest, and I think it was important to her that I was there.
I totally get that. And I'm just curious about the colors that you've used. Is there anything that you associate particularly to any of those colors?
Well, I thought about that actually. I was doing it, and I thought, well, she was 82, and she was pretty gray, and of course red for the heart. But I think the other thing was the horizon. I was thinking of a hospital bed, but in fact I just left it as a horizon. You know. But the colors, I decided not to use color except for her heart, and I'm not sure why I picked up brown to put the cross-out symbol, but yeah. It didn't seem to have a lot of color. in the scene. Actually, you know, I have to report what just went through my head, which is fade to black.
Fade to black. Yeah. It was a very key moment in your life. I get that. So, if we just reflect for a moment, you chose a time period that was really emotional for you, and was a really significant time. And was also really meaningful for you that you were able to be there just 3 days before she did.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, one can choose all sorts of moments, but that was pretty intense.
Well, I just feel really honored to have shared that moment with you, and thank you so much.
Okay, thanks.